The past several years is I talked in the beginning about protecting children by strengthening families. And one way that we've really done that is at our Intake and Investigations Office. Here's my another statistic. So when we think about our society, we think about the recession, we think about all the challenges that families have, and when families are under stress, they many times will take that out perhaps on their kids, and it's not because they don't love them, it's not because they don't want the best for them, but over the past several years we have had significant increases in the number of referrals that we've received to our agency. Last year, the reports of abuse and neglect to the agency's child abuse hotline reached a record high of 31,798. That's just for Franklin County. 31,798 referrals to Franklin County Children's Services. That was an increase of 25% since 2010.
All for abuse?
Abuse and neglect. Now, we don't investigate all of those referrals that come in. When I started, we investigated about 12,000 a year. We investigate several thousand more a year at this point in time, but it is obviously significant numbers. So that's powerful. One of the ways that we really work at our Intake and Investigations Department is we've reallocated a lot of staff. We haven't increased staff, but we've reallocated a lot of our staff to our Intake and Investigations Department. We used to have 10 units at Intake, and now we've doubled that to 20 units because we really believe that providing more upfront services to families so that we can do thorough investigations and determine whether or not those families need additional support is one of the ways that we are trying to lessen the number of families that need ongoing services from our agency, and hopefully we're able to refer those families into resources within the community, whether it's Dublin counseling or a variety of services that we have in our community to and try and support those families. We used to have what was called, what is now called the traditional track of an investigation. So a family would come in, we would say, you're the alleged perpetrator, you're the alleged victim, we would have an investigation, and we would say all the things that happened. And although we do still do that in the more serious abuse situations, such as sexual abuse, they have to go through a traditional track. So if it's a sexual abuse investigation, then we would maintain that, that philosophy. But we have now something called alternative response. And the alternative response track is if it doesn't rise to a certain level of alleged abuse that has occurred, then we work with the family in a different way. And I talked a little bit about the stresses that families are under. And so if the family has made a poor choice in regards to the safety of their child, we don't say, you're the perpetrator. We say, what's going on with your family and how can we help? It's a different way. It's much more engaging. It doesn't position us against the family, but it looks at, tell us what's going on with your family so that we can help you and support you in the best way we can, because you're the expert on your own family. And so what can we do to help you in regards to that situation? And we've found tremendous support in regards to that. In fact, the alternative response technique is really changing the child welfare across the nation. And Franklin County was one of the pilots in Ohio that took on alternative response, but within the next few years, all 88 counties will be incorporating the alternative response into their systems. And I think all of us probably sitting in the room would much rather have that kind of reaction from a Children's Services agency as opposed to me coming out and telling you what you've been accused of doing. But certainly there are situations where it rises again to that level that we do have to take that stronger stance with families. So that's just the third way, really, in a global perspective on the way that Franklin County Children's Services has changed. So I just kind of wanted to come out and talk to you about that. I feel like the work that we're doing at the agency is phenomenal. This might be my last statistic that I throw out to you, but you all look kind of sad, so I wanted to give you a happy statistic. So
thanks for bumming everybody out.
I know, I didn't mean to. I should have ended with something happy. But since 2009, 819 children and teens have been placed in loving and adoptive homes. So we do a lot of really, really good work at our agency. I'm trying to see if there's something that I didn't say, but I don't think there's for college. Our College Bound Mentoring Program started, and when I say the College Bound Mentoring Program, it's not specifically college, because some of our kids aren't ready for college. So it also includes trade schools. It includes a lot of different, how can we help you become successful and get some education and supports for those, that success after high school. But in the last 5 years, 255 children that were in the agency custody have completed high school and gone on to college. And so that is a tremendous number as well, because I don't know if you've read in the newspaper or seen anywhere online, but getting kids into college that have been involved in the child welfare system is just a tremendous, tremendous challenge because of all the experiences and the challenges that they've had throughout their lives. So, so I really passionately believe in the work that we're doing at Children's Services. I think we're doing a great job. Obviously, there's places that we can continue to improve, and we're working really hard on behalf of the kids and families in our community. So, does anybody have any questions? Yeah.